Hi everyone. Welcome back to A Sky Full of Stars. Divergence Route A, Episode 4, where Akito, Hikari, and Saya are looking at shooting stars, and it's Hikari's last day before she heads off to Malaysia with her father. So this is also a chance for Akito to apologize to Saya about what happened 4 years ago when he didn't read the letter that Hikari gave to him. So we know that the letter is written by Saya, and she admits that she likes Akito and really wanted to hear his response. But because Akito didn't read the letter, he didn't show up, and it gave Saya the feeling that either A, he is saying no to the proposal, or B, she feels that maybe it was Hikari who wrote the letter, and Akito thought that it was Hikari proposing to Saya. So Akito's like, I'm sorry about that, and I deserve to be punished. And for some reason, Saya's down on her knees, and let's see what she's up to. So it's like, well, you can hit me in the head as punishment, but I'm pretty sure Saya doesn't want to do that. So feeling warmth on my lips, I open my eyes. So Saya's pretty face was right in front of me, and there was warmth on my lips. Okay, so she gives Akito a kiss. My lips, nearly frozen from the cold morning air, felt like a warm softness was melting then. It took me a few seconds to realize it was Saya's lips. A sigh escaped from between our lips. I was frozen in place with a surprise, and Saya's eyes opened right in front of me. I gazed into Saya's jewel-like eyes from up close. So beautiful. I couldn't help but stare. And I forgot what I was doing, or even how I got into this situation in the first place. And none of it mattered anymore. I just wanted to surrender myself to the heat in her lips, in the beauty of her multicolored eyes, as pure as spring. And just then Hikari returns.
ちゃん、そんなに怒っちゃダメだよ。アキトも反省してるみたいだし、ここは早乙女の豚まんでも怒ってもらってさ。それであれ
Okay, so while Hikari's talking, she notices, hey, wait a minute. Hey, Saya, Hikari can see us. I wanted to cry out, but I couldn't with my lips covered. I couldn't even breathe. And it had been our plan for Hikari to return about now. So it might be awkward after I apologize. Come back after a little while. Okay. So best laid plans and all of that. So our half plan wasn't ready for this unexpected situation. Hikari and I were just frozen. So Sai parted her lips from mine and spoke in a quiet voice. Saya murmured. And then she turned her back on me and ran straight past Hikari. Hey, Saya? As I tried to chase after her, I tripped on my own feet and took a huge spill. My brain was totally overheated and I lost proper judgment. Hikari didn't chase Saya either. It was like she was just frozen to the spot. So still sprawled on the ground, I looked at the sky. All the stars that were there had disappeared at some point. The ground, cool from morning air, felt nice on my burning head and body. So the next day, and let's see how it goes from here. Kotaro saw Hikari and stood up, wagging his tail. Hikari moved closer and started petting Kotaro. So what's wrong now? So as the night ended, the morning sun created the horizon. The beautiful twilight sky was stained with morning. It was as if a spell was broken. We had just split the breakfast of improvised zoni and had come back down from the mountains. We barely spoke the entire time, because we were both intensely embarrassed. Hikari had caught Saya and I kissing, and for me, Hikari had seen me in that situation. So I wonder if she got home okay alone. So thinking about it, I started getting worried. And even Hikari can't say anything. So Hikari silently took out her smartphone and started tapping or texting. It looked like she was sending a text. Oh, listen, come on, I'm sorry. So our conversation didn't continue. I'm sure she was just as surprised as I was. Neither of us could think or could find the right words to say. Hikari's smartphone made a sound. So Hikari looked at the screen and busily entered something. I watched for a while, and Hikari turned the screen to me. So what did it say? Are you okay? So do you want me to come over then? Okay then. So I can't send you off. So now I'm embarrassed to show my face to Akito. And I can't believe I did that. So it looked like once Saya was home alone again, and having calmed down a little, she had started to feel embarrassed about it all. But I'm glad. So still haven't changed. My feelings haven't changed one bit. Yeah, that's true. So without any confusion or doubt, that was how Saya confessed her feelings. The kiss, more clear than a love letter, demonstrated that. So I spied a bit of color in Hikari's face as she said this. Well, I'll think about it once I settled down. It was so sudden, I couldn't think of anything else. I could never hear the train on the rails getting louder. So I can hear the train on the rails getting louder as it got closer. And hearing it, Hikari stopped petting Kotaro and stood up. So it's time for her to go.
さてと、行かなきゃ。
She said this in a crisp voice. But this will be the last time I see Hikari for a long time. So have fun then. Enjoy your trip.
アキトもね。
She made a fist and bumped my shoulder.
まあ、1年くらいで戻ってくるし、スマホもネットもあるから、寂しくなったらいつでも声かけてよ。コマコさんに。
Oh, the Komako. So coming back to herself a little, she joked around. Yeah, I'll do that. I guess first I'll ask for some advice on love. I was starting to feel myself again too. And Hikari gave a strained smile.
そういうマジな相談も大歓迎だよ。何せ人生経験豊富な都会の OL だから、コマコさんは。
Oh, come on. Yeah, well, I'm counting on that. We joked with each other and laughed to light the mood.
さやのことよろしくね。あの子は私の大切な親友だから。泣かせたら承知しないわよ。
Well, I'll keep that in mind, okay? So,
みんなにもよろしく。
yeah.
小太郎、お前も元気でね。
So Hikari waved to Kotaro and me, and then ran to the ticket gate at the station. And the train was already arriving at the station. I thought she was hurrying up, but Hikari stopped suddenly.
あの約束、忘れないでね。
Okay? Wait, what promise?
またこの場所で3人揃って流星群が見られますように。
Hey, don't you forget either. Okay, so it's like, well, make sure when I come back, we're all ready to go to look at the meteor shower again. Hikari smiled happily when I answered.
何があっても私たち3人ずっと一緒だからね。
Or more like, we'll always be together. There you go. Hikari gave one more big wave and then raced to the ticket gate. So is she going to make it? Or is the train going to leave without her? So just in case, I watched the train leave. And it seemed like Hikari made it, so I was relieved. Okay then, so now with Hikari out of the way, let's see how he goes from here. Okay, so it was about time for work. I opened the store, starting the day like always. I will get in touch with Sai later once things had cooled down a little bit. And while I was still hurting from seeing Hikari or sending Hikari off, I didn't think I could give a clear answer. Okay, so I wonder where this happens. It's like, a comet is coming in close. The Earth is in danger. And that was all over the internet at the start of the year. The large comet was going to pass between the Earth and the Moon. And one theory is that due to the comet, the Earth would change so much that it would bring humanity to the brink of destruction. So people had started to panic, but in the end, everything had gone back to normal in a few days. Well, let's say, hypothetically, a comet did pass the Earth. If it actually grazed the Moon or the Earth, it would be a big problem. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what people say how dinosaurs ended life on Earth. And it's because a big meteor crashed into Earth, and it caused the whole surface of the Earth to be unstable, a big flood and violent weather, so lava everywhere. But if it just passed through the empty space, then nothing extraordinary would happen at all. Well, I'm pretty sure the bigger problem is that this comet might have been captured by the gravity of Earth, and that would mean that the comet would continue to circle around Earth and frighten more people. It was not the first time that a comet had caused people to panic. So about 100 years ago, the famous Halley's Comet had swooped by somewhat close to Earth, causing people to panic. So false rumors began to spread, such as when the Earth was to pass through the comet's tail, or the air would become poisonous. So as the rumors spread, people panicked and were doing things such as buying up bike tire tubes and the like. So since ancient times, comets like the Halley's are often called hokiboshi. They have been constantly, thought of as ill omens. There are people who think that comets are just meteors, and actually they are not so far off. So meteors are small celestial bodies that emit light when they fall into the atmosphere. However, comets are farther away and don't come into contact with the atmosphere. The way that they emit light is different from meteors. Okay, so it's like comets are too far to be captured by gravity, so they should be safer than meteors. But for meteors, what usually happens is that they get burned up in the atmosphere, and by the time it rains down on the surface, it's nothing more than dust. So there are other people who imagine that comets are like the parents of meteors, simply because their names and looks are similar. But it wouldn't be so wrong to think of them like parents. So comets are loose piles of cosmic debris that give off gases while flying through space. Comets leave behind dust trails or dust tails, and when those interact with the Earth, a certain astronomical phenomenon occurs. So what occurs? The meteor shower. Oh, okay. A meteor shower is where the Earth passes through the dust left behind by a comet. And as the dust enters the atmosphere, it appears as many shooting stars. And we can see those beautiful meteor showers because of comets. For better or worse, comets sure make a ruckus. And this year's end of world prediction was just a farce, and anyone who was interested in astronomy would know that a comet like that doesn't exist. But there was another comet coming towards us. And with all the data that we had gathered, this hokiboshi wasn't exactly a bad omen. So what is it? So I wouldn't say that it wouldn't make a ruckus. And certainly, an amateur astronomer like myself could predict that the comet would liven up our tranquil lives. Okay, so it's the end of class. So I left the classroom labeled 2-4 with my bag on my shoulder. Later, see you later. My classmates chatted with each other as they wandered off to their club activities. I headed off to a different direction. I was going to the astronomy club room in the second school building. Okay, so looks like the club is still there. Hello! And it looks like we have a new person in the club room. Hinami and Takeichi. So I set my bag down and took a seat. Hinami stood up and prepared some tea after boiling water in the electric kettle. Thank you, Hinami. So, can I have some as well?
Thank you.
So, Takeichi picked up the teacup he got from Hinami and took a sip while eating his melon bread. He was looking at his phone pretty seriously. So I wonder if Takeichi is now part of the astronomy club, or he's just here to get company or get support from Akito. Hey, So Hinami returned to her seat and opened the magazine Guide to Astronomy. Okay, so her name is Hinami Yamada. She had joined the astronomy club earlier this spring. In other words, she's younger than me. So based on the 2-4 sign, Akito's now a second-year student, while Hinami's like the first-year student. Okay. Wait, can I help you? Oh, I see. Wait, huh? So wait, our application is closed? Our SAM's closed? Well, I guess if that's the case, then I'll go somewhere else. Wait. No. Wait, come back here. Oh, welcome to the astronomy club. So, Hinami didn't give Akito a chance to respond, and he's like, well, if it doesn't look like you're gonna accept members, then I'll just go somewhere else. And he desperately tried to pull her back and say, no, we're open. I have openings here. Man, that surprised me. So you didn't let me know that you're coming in, and I was caught off guard. I never thought that a first year would want to join this club. I found this out later, but Hinami was one of the guests that came to observe Place 1. Okay, so that makes sense. She was Chrono's classmate and was interested in the stars. After coming to the Stargazers meetup, she decided to join the astronomy club. And surprisingly, she's a student of this school, not the other 5 or 6 schools. So it had been half a year since that she joined, but I still didn't know what she was thinking. Well, she was interested in astronomy and our activities, but most of all, I was just glad that Night had helped her see the world of astronomy. I tried to imagine telling Orihime about it. Okay, same message as Orihime. And I feel that at this time, Orihime had already graduated from Meikou Academy and has moved on. But it looks like she's still going to read, or she's still connected to the Six Stars Club chat room. Wait, Orihime? Well, it's hard to tell what's going on when I don't see it, or I can't see it. So I like this statement. It kind of reminds me of what happened at the end of Super Mario Galaxy, and that was a really big game about 10 years ago as of this recording. And I don't want to go too far into it because I'm sure you can find information about this elsewhere. So they said our New Year's congratulations while opening an expensive looking box of macaroons. But even though we had a new member, there was still only 2 of us, so we didn't have many activities that we could do. And I'm surprised that the club is still running, because in Poltop's other game, if My Heart of Wings, the clubs get shut down if there's not enough members, because then the student council and the administrators and the faculty, they think that the club is wasting money, and the money that they're putting into the club can be better spent elsewhere. And that's why they come and enforce the rules often. They check on the activities, they try to make sure that the club is doing something productive. And well, you can go see those Let's Play videos if you're interested. So normally we would just get together in the club, read books, look up stuff on the net, and record what we saw while stargazing. Now on top of that, I had to work, so there's only so much time that I could be here. And that's why we relied heavily on the Six Stars Club to do big activities. So I think having a connection to the bigger union, the Six Stars Club, that kind of made it more convincing that the Astronomy Club should still remain despite having only 2 people, well actually 1.5 because Akito works. So we did stargazing meetups together, lent each other equipment, and taught each other techniques. And yesterday we borrowed a camera from Nishihai and tried to take photos of celestial bodies. And once someone younger joined the group, I finally understood what Orihime once told me. And there was no mistaking that the Six Stars Club had been helping the astronomy clubs liven up their activities. And hopefully it translates to these clubs being more attractive and leading to more members in all these astronomy clubs, including this one. Hey, so wait, what are you doing here? You're not a member. Wait, are you talking to me? I don't have to yell hey to Hinami, but when I say that, it would be great if you realize that I'm always talking to you. So when I say hey you, I mean you, Takeichi. Yeah? So after he replied, he went straight back to his phone. I took a deep breath, stood up, and went behind Takeichi. So what are you looking at then? The comic girl. Wait, who's that? Well, I never heard of it. So is this some kind of band? Well, it can be a band, but it's something better. So Takeichi started to show me some low quality videos on his phone. So what did he record? So right when I was about to look at my phone, right when I was about to look at that video, my phone beeped telling me that I had a message. And with that, I turned to face Hinami. So are we ready, Hinami? So I wonder what she's thinking of, because she's off in her own world again. Hello, Hinami! Come back to Earth! Come back to us! Okay. She blushed, realizing that I saw her head was filled with terrible fantasies. I grew used to it, but at first I was a little scared to be alone in the same room with her. So apparently her thoughts, her imaginations, her dreams, they're scaring Akito. Hey, Take. So I have something to do. We're gonna go out for a bit. Where? Oh, so it looks like there's a Six Stars Club meeting. A Six Stars Club meeting. There you go. So the Six Stars Club meets up once a month. By the way, Take, so isn't the winter tournament coming up soon? So, hey, go practice. It's more like, don't spend time in this club room. You're not a member. Why don't you go back to your basketball club? Oh, oops. Okay, I gotta go then. Takechi looked at his watch and put his phone in his pocket. Oh no, I'm sure the coach is gonna yell at me for being late. Oops. He had joined... Oh. So he's now in the varsity team. So that's like one of the... I'll say that's the highest grade team for basketball. Or for any sports. So he'd been recently working hard in practice ever since they got past the regionals. And we left the room afterwards. Hey, Hinami, you don't need to give him any tea, you know. Well, if he's too comfortable, then he'll just stay. Well, I don't think that's gonna be a problem because if Takeichi stays too long, he can get a nice beating from the coach, given that he is pretty much representing the school in terms of athletics. And he doesn't want to be the person that's putting the team down. So, let the coach take care of all that. But then again, I'm sure Akito doesn't want Takeichi to continue to leech off of his resources, his emergency food and such. And how does she treat stray cats? I was curious, but I decided not to ask. Actually, it would be more entertaining to see Takeichi ask about it while it happened to him. So we were talking as we left the building. And once again, the other girls, they think that Akito found a new commuter wife. Oh, so Sai showed up to pick up Akito and Hinami. And I'm pretty sure at this point, Sai doesn't mind being called the commuter wife. So Sai finished greeting the student that she had never met before. Hey, so Saya. Hello, Amanagawa senpai. Hinami wasn't stiff just looking at Saya, or she went stiff. So it looked like Hinami was dizzy and lightheaded. So Sai tilted her head, looking confused. So how should I respond to that? Well, I'm sorry about her. You know, she's kind of strange. Well, thanks for waiting, so shall we go then? Okay. So that message earlier was Saya telling me that she arrived. Okay, so well, we So we have a meeting today. I'm gonna wait for you, and let's go together. So we were going to the meeting together. There you go.
行こう、山田さん。とあるビデオは悪の銀河帝国に占領され、地球に伸びてきたプリンセスは身分を隠し、はい。
Okay, so looks like the club meeting is once again held at the Meikou Academy, and I'm pretty sure it's Hoshinoka that's going to lead the meeting. So Sai could go there alone, but she's pretty shy with other people, so we tend to go as a group together. So by the way, what are your other club members doing?
漫画の締め切りがあるんだって。同人誌だったかな。
Okay, so once again, the comic book. I nodded, but I didn't really get it. So the girls in the Seisen Astronomy Club, other than Sai drew comics. And since their school had forbidden any comic club from being established, they had been using the Astronomy Club as a cover to do their activities. And I wonder who the president of the club is, because that person could throw out all the members that aren't really doing astronomy. And well, I'm not sure if it is Sai or not, but I'm pretty sure it's someone else. But anyways, so but it wasn't like they weren't participating in any astronomy club activities. So despite them being big comic book fans, big comic book artists, they still do some work that's related to astronomy. So those girls had come to the Plays 1 First Light event at the end of last year. And they said that they were drawn to the beauty of the stars and all the mythology, and they had liked how cool our homemade telescope was. And when they saw Plays 1, they had been shouting, "Amazing! Wow, this is amazing, Saya!" Even I saw how excited they were. And that's why they kept going to the meetup, and why the Six Stars Club website had more art and a comic explaining what we did. Okay, so we can see that their skills at making comic books didn't go to waste, and they can use it somewhere in real media that's related to the Astronomy Club and the Six Stars Club. And from that night, our club has started to change little by little. So what's wrong? Saya asked Hinami, noticing that she kept staring or stealing glances of her once we sat down.
天の川先輩は部長の通い妻なのですか？
So Hinami pretty much picked up the word commuter wife from the other students. It's like, well, is that true or not? I chalked without thinking as I stood holding onto the strap. And the other passengers around us started listening in on our conversation just by the mentioning of that one word. So, the commuter wife. Hinami, well, actually, that...
そうだよ。
But Sai is okay with this. Like, well, I liked being the commuter wife for Akito. Wait, really? Hey, Saya, come on. This is not appropriate to say that. Or like, this is not the appropriate time.
なんて。嘘嘘。アキト君とはただの幼馴染。
Well, okay, we're friends. But
そうですか。
So Hinami and the rest of the passengers around us had a mixed look of relief and disappointment on their faces. So it was like, well, it was quite exciting to see a new lovely couple on the bus, and I was hoping that it was true. Well, that would surprise anybody. A beautiful young girl like her saying that she was married with a smile on her face. Hey, come on, please stop teasing people younger than you. Hinami would take it seriously. It's like, this girl, she's kind of weird. She takes things in the wrong direction, and her thought process is quite skewed. So, let's not put anything else that's going to confuse her more. So Sai just laughed like she didn't do anything bad at all. Ah, oh, jeez. So as my heart was racing, I decided to try and go along with her joke. Well, for now, Saya is not my wife. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to change depending on which route we'll be on, obviously. Well, we weren't even dating. We were just friends, really good friends, just like that. But Sai and I and one other old friend had a secret. And I'm sure the other old friend is Hikari. So about 1 year before, Sai had asked me out. Okay, so it's been some time since this happened. I have been seriously bothered by it ever since Saya told me how she felt that day. So it was a normal reaction for a boy to feel lucky that a cute girl like Saya had asked me out. And there was nothing to worry about. Anyone would be happy to have her as a girlfriend, lucky in fact, like a gift from the heavens. But was it okay to date her for such a simplistic reason? I had been troubled by it, and Saya had sent me a message. Okay, and that doesn't really sound very pleasant. So I feel that this is kind of like trying to make up for what never happened 4 years ago. And even though the bridge isn't there anymore, they're using the dam as a replacement. So I view this like the lake from the dam as I had waited for Saya. And the last time Saya had called me down here was all the way back then, when the bridge had still been here. There you go. And while I waited, I thought about that time, 4 years ago, and what it had been like. And how would I have responded if I had read that letter back then? Well, I was really depressed back then. I was so angry because I just had gotten into a fight with Hikari and stopped being her friend, and then she moved away before we could even make up. And no matter how I would have answered, I wasn't in the most cheer of moods. Well, it's been 6 years since I met Saya. And I thought we'd always be friends. I would see her as more than just a girl from time to time, but I just drove those emotions away. And developing feelings for a friend seemed like it was betraying the friendship. So how do I put this? It might seem cool, but I guess we were just kids back then. And I had more fun exploring the mountains and looking at the stars with both of them than I had figuring out any romantic interest. And that's why I thought about that's why I thought that Saya and even Hikari didn't see me that way either. I didn't even think it was possible to begin with. It seemed like Hikari still didn't see me that way though. But that was all a long time ago. I wasn't a kid anymore. I needed to give Saya a proper answer. So what am I going to do? Okay, so we get two options, and I think this one does matter on which route I'll be on. So the first one's obviously going to be the Saya route, and I'm sure this one, the second one, is going to be the Hikari route. So let's see what happens if I pick the option that will take me to the Saya route. So Saya's the one. Well, I can't complain about her looks. She had a good personality too. She was thoughtful and sensitive. And more importantly, instead of running from me like every other girl, she accepted me as I was. Well, there really isn't anything for me to worry about. It was plain and simple. I would have had a beautiful girl friend that everyone would be jealous of, and that was what she wanted too. And that would make me happy too. Well, it is simple, and I tell her yes, it's going to be great from here on out. And he hears Akito, or Akito hears Saya. Wait, whoa, what is it? And then he jumped from the mention of my name. I clear my throat and turn around. Oh, Saya. Oh, it's okay. Well, I just got here, so, I wasn't waiting too long. I had arrived 30 minutes before, but deep in my thought, I had lost track of time. Well, I think he was kind of excited to see Sai like this, and that's why he lost track of time. Well, Saya, Wait, I'm not ready yet. Saya quickly stopped me when I got the courage to start talking. She pleaded, looking up at me, so I shut my mouth. So I went quiet and took a few deep breaths, and then suddenly her breathing increased. And after her breathing calmed down again, Sai had a kind of determination in her eye as she talked. Well, Wait, what was she talking about? Wait, was she talking about the kiss? Maybe? Okay, so it's like, well, you haven't turned me down yet. I felt like I had a chance. There you go. So they're going, well, having anything's better than zero. Saya was looking down, flushed red from being so embarrassed. And that's why she kissed Akito. So Saya was beet red, but so was I, probably. I've never been so embarrassed in my life that just thinking about it makes me lightheaded. Wait, it wasn't like that. Are you saying that you don't like me? Saya feverishly shook her head. Well, you did, and unlike 4 years ago, I accepted it. And hearing what I said, Saya looked up with a sense of relief. And that's why I want to give you a real answer now. So I wouldn't seem careless. I straightened myself up, and Saya just shook her head. Okay. Wait, what are you talking about? I can't do that. I already know how she feels. Hey, don't hold back, Saya. Saya always held herself back to do what Hikari and I wanted. I didn't want her to wait or hold back anymore. Saya. So nothing came out after hearing that. She really did know me. Well, I guess she thought that I was just unable to turn her down. If I agreed to go out with her, no matter what my true feelings were, she would always be in doubt. She thought that I would say it out of pity. Wait, right now? So maybe there's a chance for us to be together in the absence of the she, which is obviously Hikari. So I'm going to stop here for this episode, and we're going to see how this little memory continues. So this is pretty much Akito trying to make up for what he didn't do 4 years ago when he didn't read the letter that Saya wrote to him. And also, I kind of wonder how this is going to continue in the absence of Hikari. And it seems that things are going quite well, especially given that there's a new member for Akito's astronomy club. And, well, she's quite weird. She thinks of all these crazy things. But having someone here is better than just Akito being alone. Because, obviously, the club is kind of small and it's kind of inactive. Or, like, quiet. And that could be big problems for the school. So before I close this episode, let's see what happens if I pick the other option, so there's someone else. And I'm pretty sure that would be the Hikari option. So hold on for a minute. Okay, so I'm back at the selection screen, and let's see what happens if I pick the other option, which is... so maybe there's someone else. And the someone else is definitely Hikari. Okay, so I can't complain about her looks. And she had a great personality too. And she was thoughtful and sensitive. And most importantly, instead of running from me like every other girl, she accepted me as I was. Well, there really isn't anything for me to worry about. And that's how I'm supposed to think. So why was I worrying so much? So what else is bothering Akito? So for an instant, I almost thought about someone else, but I drove those thoughts out of my mind. So why couldn't I just accept those feelings? Her triumphant look came to mind. So you can see that Akito's thinking about Hikari. Well, I was probably just getting emotional because she left. Well, there's always a chance that my feelings will change somehow. Or change tomorrow. It's well, maybe I won't think that way the next day. Well, it would be bad if those feelings turned out to be love. I would just have to see how things turned out. But what would I tell Saya then? Well, I'll just tell her the truth. And as Akito's thinking about Hikari, Saya comes in. So you can see from this angle that even though he admires Saya, he still really misses Hikari, and for some reason Hikari has the charm that kind of enlightens or warms Akito. But anyways, we'll see how it continues, and given that this takes place, or the part where Akito takes Sai and Hinami to the meeting, that takes place about 6 or 7 months from the time Hikari left. So time passes by, and I'm sure they'll see Hikari again soon. And with that in mind, I'll see you in next episode.